everyone, Emma here from the Golden Potato, and welcome to another awesome mod review, where today we are going to be taking a look at the Doctor Who mod. And it is so cool, and I am super excited, and as you can see, we have those beautiful TARDISes over there that we get to actually ride, and that is the back of my head. Just ignore that for a minute. Nonetheless, for those of you who aren't familiar with Doctor Who, I have one warning. Spoilers! And if you are a Doctor Who fan, then you probably just laughed at the reference I have made, and you probably didn't laugh at the fact that I just blew into my microphone as usual, talking too loud, gosh darn it. But for those of you who really don't care about spoilers, and I'll just let you in on knowing about the fact that Doctor Who is about a humanoid alien called the Time Lord, and he regenerates into different forms, and he travels through time and space in a TARDIS, also known as Time and Relative Dimensions in Space. It's a blue police box that looks like this. Each Doctor had a different TARDIS, and so he travels to defend the universe alongside his companions that he picks, and it is absolutely amazing because there are plenty of horrible monsters that he has to defend himself against, including the Daleks, whose goal is simply to exterminate! Yes, that was my horrible Dalek impression. Deal with it. So, we have a lot to go through today. It's going to be fun. And oh, look who showed up! The 13th Doctor, Frank. Oh my gosh, guys, this is a major spoiler. We're only on Peter Capaldi. We can't know about this secret, so if you're watching this video, make sure that nobody knows about the 13th Doctor. Not even Stephen Moffat knows. Not even him. It's a secret. He came back in time through the Golden Potato TARDIS right over there. And where am I pointing? Right over there. There we go. It disappeared for a minute. And, it won't affect the space-time continuum because of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. But whatever. He's here with us now. Frank, the 13th Doctor. So we have a lot to go over today. The first of which is the costume. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. I am wearing the fez and bow tie, by the way. That is from the mod. That is not from the hats mod that I usually wear. But we're going to take them off for a minute, even though bow ties are cool, and don this Dalek outfit. Now, it does look a little awkward fitting on me, but, I'm kind of inside of a Dalek, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Isn't it, Doctor? I think so. We also have the TARDIS, not the TARDIS, we also have the bow tie and the fez, but we also have a gas mask. Now, this is actually really, really creepy looking. Are you my mommy? No, okay, I'm making more references, but this is a mob drop from a mob we'll get to later. We have the classy top hat, which is looking amazing. How you doing? We have the black glasses, so we look nice as well. We look very smart in our smart glasses, and we also have some 3D glasses that we can wear, which is pretty cool. One side is blue, one side is white. We're looking beautiful. We have Ace's jacket, which is one of the Doctor's companions, and it looks so darn epic. And we can also put on the Stetson, because the Stetson is cool. I also like the design on the top of the hat, how it actually looks like a Stetson, which is pretty cool. We have the 6th Doctor's coat, the 7th Doctor's hat, and we are rocking ultra Doctor gear right now. And then alongside that, we have the 4th Doctor's scarf and the 1st Doctor's astrakhan, if I'm saying it right. So that looks nice. I do like the scarf a lot. And then lastly, we have the 3rd Doctor's cloak. So that looks cool. So I'm actually going to throw the fez and the bow tie and the sword that we'll use later on the ground, clear out my inventory, pick this stuff back up, and move on to the next chest. So the next chest we have is... which chest should I open? Which chest should it be? It's gonna be this one. Nope, I lied. It's gonna be this one. These are sonic screwdrivers. Now keep in mind that there are crafting recipes for this mod, but since this mod is so heavily work in progress, in fact, they're even coming out with a story mode soon. I'm not gonna go over all of them since only a couple of them have crafting recipes, but all of them have amazing models. Just take a look at these beautiful models, and there's some more up here too. But basically, all the sonic screwdrivers do the same thing. When you right-click, listen to the sound they make. That's right, they make sonic screwdriver sounds, and of course, different screwdrivers make different sounds. That's the old-fashioned one. Some old-fashioned ones make the same thing, and this one sounds different, see? And they all have different sound effects, and they have amazing models when I'm holding them in hand. I am a true Doctor right now. Geronimo! Okay, awkward pauses here and there, but that's okay, because sonic screwdrivers do some incredible things. The features are heavily work in progress once again, but they can shatter glass when you right-click glass. You can also right-click a TNT to light it up on fire, and you can also open iron doors just by right-clicking it as if you were opening a wooden door. You can turn on redstone lamps too, which is pretty cool, and I think that's about it. It does emit a redstone signal. And we also have the 10th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. I actually have this one in my room, and my brother has the 11th Doctor's. And then we also have 2 other Sonic things. You have the Sonic Lipstick, which just looks like lipstick, but it acts exactly the same as the Sonic Screwdriver. And my favorite is the Sonic Blaster, which actually acts as a really quick, insta-mining Silk Touch gun. So when I right-click a block, it'll mine it out and actually act like a Silk Touch pick, but I won't have to wait to mine it. So let's say I want to capture this mushroom piece over here, because you really can't capture mushrooms. If I just right-click, I'll actually be able to get the block, which is super cool, because you can't get that otherwise. And some of these do have crafting recipes. I think the 11th Doctor's does, and the 10th Doctor's, and not all of them do. So that's okay. Let's put these screwdrivers back and move on to the next thing, which is some more random stuff, which includes mobs. So we're going to be going over mobs next. Now, I actually filmed this mod review before, actually like a couple days ago, and it was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, as in like 40 minutes long, which is surely way too long to review a mod review. But also, I accidentally blew up the whole set. So, these are actually new armor sets that you can get. Dalekanium is from Dalekanium ingots, which you can mine in the new Dalek Dimension Scaro, and then you can also craft Dalekanium nuggets into Dalekanium ingots, and they are also drops from Daleks as well, and you can use them to craft the traditional armor set as well as some weapons. The sword does the same as an iron sword, and you can get a battle axe, which does +6 as well, and a sledgehammer, and then the traditional hoe, pickaxe, axe, and spade. And then the steel armor just has the regular crafting recipes, no weapons yet, but steel ingots are actually drops from Cybermen, and so apparently Red Dash was here. Tee-hee! So moving on, now we have some mobs. These are all the non-Dalek mobs. Now this mod is officially called the Dalek mod, so we're not going to be going over all of the Daleks today, but there are going to be a couple Daleks that we're going to go over, including one of the bosses. So let us do this quickly. That is why I have a sharpness 10 diamond sword. And I'm also going to grab a couple villagers because they interact with some of the mobs in quite an interesting way. So here we have the Centauran, a cute little guy. He's hostile, and he looks adorable. We have the Zygon, which is red, and it's a shapeshifter, and they're really creepy looking, and look at that face. Look at that face, though. It can die. And we have Clara, who is apparently a Steve. It's supposed to be an NPC that follows you, but heavily work in progress. It's a Steve. I must kill you. It does drop Clara's head, but that too looks like a Steve when you just place it on the ground. We do have the Whispermen, which are very freaky looking, 40 health instead of 20, and they are looking pretty darn freaky. Let me actually set the time to day now. Boop! Set the time to day, and come back, Whispermen. You cannot escape death. The sword does 20 damage, and it still takes me 2 hits. Next we have a snowman. Do you want to build a snowman? No, I don't! Because that's scary, but it does drop snowballs, which I guess is pretty convenient, so you can throw them at your friends and annoy them with the remains of the slayed snowmen. We do have adiposes, which are probably the cutest things ever. They're like little globs of fat that come off of human bodies, but they are so adorable! I could just spawn them all in. They're just so beautiful. I'm not going to kill them. They're just too cute. A Dalek somehow got in here, but we have an ice warrior, which looks very, very funky. Not very icy, sort of like a lizard, which is cool. I'm assuming it spawns in ice biomes as well. And let's just get rid of a couple of these. We already did the Snowman, the Whispermen. And keep in mind that some of these are totally powerful when you're in survival mode. For example, the Silence. I'm not going to go into creative mode for this, because you know what happens when I go into creative mode? Or should I say, survival mode? He spawns in lightning that continues to follow me until I die. Maybe we'll do it at the end of the mod review, maybe not. But he is very, very hostile. And, hey, where'd the Silence go? Gee, wait, what's the Silence? Wait, I can't remember. Nah, I'm just kidding. Trying to make another reference that didn't really fail. What happens is when you look away from the Silence, you forget that it was there. But next we have the Weeping Angel. Now, really, when you're looking at it, it's not moving. And when you turn around, it should, in theory, follow you. But hasn't been doing that so far. But it does have a lot of health. 60 health, to be exact. So maybe they'll work out the AI mechanics in the future. We have the Empty Child, if I can find it. Let me find it. There we go, empty child. And this says, "Are you my mommy?" This is what the gas mask is from, and when you kill it, it'll drop rotten flesh in a gas mask. But what happens is when an empty child attacks a villager, I'll get an empty NPC, which is actually a sort of empty child turned villager, and it'll also drop gas masks and rotten flesh. So that's where the "Are you my mummy" joke comes from, because that's what they always said when they wore the gas masks. And now we have old Cybermen and new Cybermen. So this is the old Cyberman, very clunky head here, 20 health, and this is the new Cyberman, which sounds really scary, and it must die. Oh gosh, that was scary. Let me turn my sound down, because the next couple are going to be very loud. We have the Gel Guard, which looks like a giant red gel guard, obviously. It drops slime balls. Some more Daleks are escaping into my selection of mobs here. We also have the Cleaner, which looks very weird. I don't know what this is from. Obviously not new Doctor Who, but only 20 health too. Let me just get rid of these for a second. Blah 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 blah. And I forgot to mention that if Cybermen attack villagers, they will also turn into Cybermen. And we have the last couple. So we have the DM, also stands for the Dalek mod. Unit Personnel. This guy's pretty friendly, just like Clara. I have to kill him, I'm sorry. We have an Auton, which will kill you in 2 hits. It shoots lasers from its arm, and it's supposed to be a mannequin that's come alive. We also have the Clockwork Dryad, which is probably one of the freakiest. "I'm going to haunt you in your nightmares," and he can go away. That was freaky. And then we also have Time Lords, which are apparently hostile, maybe because they don't, like the Doctor, but they're found on the planet Gallifrey, and he has 30 health. So next we have the boss. This is the Cyber Leader. Here we go, let's spawn him in. So he has 120 health. He's a boss, and he also spawns in other Cybermen minions that I can take out in 1 hit. But this is the Cyber Leader, and when you take him out, he'll drop some cool things. So he'll drop rotten flesh, he'll drop steel ingots, and he'll drop what's called credits. Now these credits actually don't have any purpose at the moment, but when story mode comes along, they'll become quite helpful. So the boss is fairly easy to take down if you have a sharpness 10 diamond sword, but good luck with that one. Good luck with getting that one. And now we have Daleks. Now I'm only going to take a look at the couple Daleks. That's not the chest. There we go. There are 2 boss Daleks, the TV-21 and the Dalek Storm. But let's take a look at a couple. You saw one over there. They spawn in biome-specific stuff. We have the Ender Dalek. Let's pick. We have the Weeping Angel, the Dalek Weeping Angel, which sounds very scary. The Special Weapons Dalek. What else? We have the 80s Dalek, which could be quite funny, and the 60s Dalek, I guess. And we can take the Suicide Dalek, the Asylum Dalek, and the Supreme Dalek Red. Now, there are plenty more Daleks for you to explore. They all spawn in different biomes. But we're going to go over here, because it's going to be very, very bad. And actually, for the final Doctors, or Daleks, I should say, I'm going to actually go into the water. So this is the Ender Dalek. He says exterminate. And when I go into survival, he will insta-kill you. And they have 40 health. And oh yeah, Ender Daleks are treated like regular Endermen, so they will teleport. So have fun with that one. The Supreme Dalek is looking nice. He will drop credits in Dalekanium. We have the Asylum Dalek, a nice blue color. Don't you hurt my adipose, but he will leave a really creepy, sort of colorful trail. The Suicide Dalek, I'm pretty sure will blow up if you hit him. He might blow up like a creeper if you're in survival mode. We have the 60s Dalek, which looks very old-fashioned. There we go, the good old 60s Dalek. And we also have the 80s Dalek, which looks a little bit more modern. And the exterminate sound that they make sounds less clear. We have the Special Weapons Dalek, which is probably more powerful. Yeah, it has 90 health. There we go. It's a lot bigger. And it did drop something called a block item, which currently doesn't have any use or crafting recipe, nor a texture. Once again, heavily work in progress. And we also have the Dalek Weeping Angel, which is really, really scary. It looks like a regular Weeping Angel. Maybe it's treated like a Dalek. But anyways, the Daleks basically look like that. I encourage you to explore. But next we have the Dalek Storm and the TV-21 Dalek. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn them in the water, because they will catch things on fire. And I made this mistake not knowing what would happen. I spawned them in on my set, and it basically exploded the whole thing. So the first one we have is the TV-21 Dalek. It'll spawn in some nice music. And where did my sword go? Where did my sword go? I gotta get a new one. The music is catchy, but I'm running out of time. It's already exploding things. It's going around exploding things. I need to get the sharpness. Alright, it's exploding things. It's summoned in baby Daleks, and I have to kill it. There we go. The epic music is playing. This is why I put it in the water, so it can't get very far. And we'll just kill it, dealing crits here and there. And there it is. It is down for the count. It'll drop a lot of credits, which I'm sure will get you very far eventually. But the music is still very loud. And let's spawn in the biggest one, which is the Dalek Storm. Now, first of all, let me turn my volume all the way down. Now, the reason why I'm turning this down, I'm actually going to turn it back up a little bit. The reason why I've turned it down is because the Dalek Storm, brace the Dalek Storm. Just ready for this? Here he goes. He dies in water. Wow, that was kind of pathetic. I'll show you what the Dalek Storm does when he's not in water. Here we go. This is what he does. See? Now I'm going to knock him in water because he's 1,000 health. I don't need him creating forest fires. Last time it lagged my computer like crazy, but he will leave a giant crater of things. I know that's so anticlimactic, but I don't want to lag and have to put out fires. Maybe we'll do it at the end of the episode. But push him towards water and he'll die. I don't think he drops stuff when you knock him into water, though, which is a shame. But hey, that's pretty much it for the Daleks. The Dalek Storm has 1,000 health. We'll spawn in other Daleks, and we'll leave a trail of terrifying fire and craters in your wake. And he destroyed my whole set, which was horrible. So now we're moving on to the fun stuff. Yay! Not the right chest this time. We have some fun stuff for you. So, the first two things is a rocket launcher and a credit. The credit is the thing that you can use in story mode, but this is the rocket launcher. I'll show you what it does. Boom! That's the rocket launcher. That's how I accidentally exploded my set last time. I thought it was a credit, and I right-clicked, and then when you spam it, it is so darn powerful, and it has an infinite range. So look at how far I'm spamming this thing. Look at how far it has been spammed. I have just gone down to bedrock, and it is such a big explosion. And I want to make sure I don't explode my set. That'd be really bad if I did. Please tell me I didn't. But look. Boom. Tree. Boom. I just exploded the whole forest. It has an infinite range. It is so darn powerful. Are you ready for the chunks to load? What? How long did that take? 10 seconds? Look at the destruction I did in 10 seconds. That should be illegal, okay? This is way too OP. And then, of course, we have Bessie. Yes, it works. The Third Doctor's transportation is a beautiful, beautiful yellow piece of equipment like this. And you just treat it like a regular sort of, I don't know what you call it. It goes up a block at a time. You can control it with your cursor and your ASWD keys and press L shift. And it has 500 health because it is treated like an entity. We also have Nitro 9, which is sort of like a C4. You place it on the ground once, and then you right-click it again for it to explode. Not nearly as powerful as the rocket launcher, but that's okay. We also have Ace's baseball bat, the same person who had that awesome jacket. This is 4 damage, and it only takes an iron ingot and 2 pieces of wood, so it's not that expensive. We also have the hologram, which is a 10th Doctor hologram, because I love the 10th Doctor. You can actually walk through it and stuff, which is pretty cool. For decoration right now, I think. We also have an iron side, which is really cool. You can craft these from Dalek sections, and these are actually loots found in Dalek dungeons. So this is an iron side that has 20 health and it'll fight for you and be a good Dalek. We also have a special weapons Dalek statue, which I'm assuming is a special drop from the special weapons Dalek, which is like the next step below a boss. And so you can get some of those good Dalek-y looties. And we also have River Song's Diary. Now what happens is when I right-click it, I regenerate. Look, I'm the first Doctor. Now I'm the second. Now I'm the third. Let's see if you can name them all as I'm going through them. Go on, shout it at your computer. Shout it out as I'm scrolling through the regenerations. And they don't have the War Doctor, which is a bit of a bummer. I mean, whoops, spoilers. We do have Peter Capaldi, and obviously we don't have Frank in here because that would just mess the time and space continuum. And lastly, we have the Forest in a Box, which on a simple right click will take us to a infinite forest surrounded by lava, which means it's not infinite because it's surrounded by lava, but it still looks cool. Terrain generation means it's going to be super worth it, and my box is stuck, but there are some awesome trees, and it's just a nice little dimension. It's from one of the Doctor Who specials, I believe, but then you do spawn in a random location, which is really stinky, because now I don't know where I am. There we go. So be careful when you are using that. You will spawn in a different location. So let me just go back to where I was. I can see Bessie over there. And now I'm going to show you the Time Vortex Manipulator. And now we're going to start journeying through time and space. No more Dalek fighting. No more, like crafting recipes and looking at chests. We're going to be traveling through time and space in Minecraft. So keep in mind, whoops, that was so anticlimactic. Keep in mind that the TARDIS can travel through time and space, and the time vortex manipulator is what Jack Harkness used, but it only travels through time. So we're going to use this to travel through time and save the TARDIS to travel through space, simply because this thing doesn't lag as much as going inside the TARDIS, and I'll save the TARDISes for last. So, if you shift and right click, keep in mind to shift click, you'll be able to travel to any coordinates. So if I want to travel a couple blocks left or right, I just change the X coordinate and teleport, and it'll make a lightning sound. It won't catch anything on fire, I should say. But I will teleport, which is super, super nifty. However, if I actually want to teleport to a different time, I just right-click, no shifting, and I can go all the way back to Cave Game. So let's travel to Cave Game. We are going back in time, and here we are. We are literally playing Cave Game right now. Look, it's the old Cave Game cobble. It's all of the normal Cave Game stuff, all of the old grass. It is lagging like crazy, and then we can also use shift and right click to travel around using coordinates as well. But now let's go over to Minecraft Classic, which is super cool. And you know, you have the old textures for gold and gravel and all that jazz. So it's downloading terrain, because it takes a while to go back in time. It'll tell me my frame rate, and if I press B, I'll be able to access the inventory. I mean, if I press E, I'll be able to access my regular inventory, but B accesses the creative inventory for classic, and like gold looks the same, and iron looks the same as in the old version. So we're just gonna travel over to InfDev, which is a little bit more advanced. We are traveling through time right now. This could not be cooler. There is so much potential for this mod. So as you can see, there's a little bit more mobbage, I guess, if that's a word, more unique terrain generation. I encourage you to explore, by the way. But then we have Minecraft Beta, which is actually when I joined Minecraft. I joined at 1.7.3, I believe right before the adventure update. And here we are. We actually spawned in a snowy biome just to demonstrate the unique biomes. This is, I believe, not a taiga biome, but a tundra biome. And we can continue. As a reminder, shift and right click to travel to different coordinates and go explore different biomes and stuff. There is dirt on that tree. That is a weird tree over there. And lastly, we're going to travel to Minecraft Xbox, which just moved over to Xbox One and I believe PS4 as well. And I actually like this, the Minecraft Xbox version. Sadly, you can't get the traditional recipes the way you craft them on Xbox crafting tables. Like, you can't get the same GUI as you do on regular Xbox, but I do get this nice little image in the corner right here. Are you ready? There I am. You can see me running just like in regular Xbox, and the terrain generation is pretty similar to Xbox, and there's the Xbox biomes and all that jazz. So now we can go back to the overworld just by clicking overworld. Go back to the future. Yes, I've quoted, and there is a Back to the Future Easter egg in this mod. I'm not gonna leave it there, but if you can find it, that'd be great. Now you do spawn in a random location, which stinks. So I will actually be right back. Right, so I couldn't find my way back, but that's okay, because there's not much left to go over except the TARDISes. So here we have the Zayton 7 ore. This will give you Zayton 7 crystals, which will later be used to power the TARDIS. Right now, though, the ore spawns, but it doesn't do anything yet. However, we're going to move on to the TARDISes. So we have the classic TARDIS, the 11th TARDIS. We have the decorative TARDIS console here. We have a TARDIS command block, which is quite interesting. You can set the sign, so I'm going to make it say the golden potato. And I can also set the command for it, so whatever command I want to use, so like / clear the nearest player's inventory, I guess. And then I can change how the TARDIS looks. And it's also great for making a customized TARDIS, and I can also change how tilted I want it to be. And it's pretty darn cool. So here we have our TARDIS. What happens is when I right click it, it'll clear my inventory. I don't really want to do that. It doesn't work right now, I don't think. It might not, who knows. But we also have the 10th Doctor's TARDIS over here. And what happens is when you want to open a TARDIS, you have to right-click with the TARDIS key. So if I want to right-click with the... which one is this? The classic TARDIS, it would open except for the fact that it's under development. So, you know, we're just going to get rid of this one because they're currently organizing the inside. The last thing before we go explore the 11th and 10th Doctor's TARDISes is this bad boy. This is a rideable TARDIS. That is right. Are you jealous? I am riding a TARDIS right now. You need to seriously get this mod. You are missing out right now. It doesn't go up in the air currently, but it does travel similar to Bessie. And you simply click L shift to park it, and there it is. It's just so beautiful. I mean, I am riding a TARDIS right now, so that is pretty cool. Now, to open the TARDIS, you simply right-click with your TARDIS key, and it'll open. It'll make a nice sound. If I turn up my music again, or my general sound, and I click open the 11th Doctor's TARDIS, listen to the sound. Yeah, there we go. And then you walk in, and are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? It's bigger on the inside. Oh, yeah. So there are plenty of places here to explore for you in the TARDIS. You could basically live here. I mean, it's really cool. The roundels do lag you out a lot. And there's, like, this weird parallel universe thing outside, like a pocket universe almost. But you can go upstairs. You can explore everything. There are chests here. There's an enchanting table. And the lag has kicked in. I told you the lag was really bad. It just kicks in when you're inside the TARDIS. So, basically, I'm going to travel to a couple dimensions and show you how it works. There's this thing called the Tardis Monitor. And when you right-click, you'll be able to travel to different places. So I can travel back in time to Cave Game, Classic, Inf, Def, Beta, and Xbox. Or I can travel to planets like Omicron Persei 8, Europa, Mars, the Moon, the Nether, the Overworld, Gallifrey, Trenzolor, and Skaro. So we're going to travel to 3 today. And keep in mind that the Moon, Mars, Europa, and Omicron Persei 8 all have just really flat terrain and no mobs or unique generations in terms of that terrain so far. So we're going to travel to the 3 most developed ones. So first we're going to go to the home of the Time Lords. I do apologize for the lag. You can hear TARDIS sounds, but the reason for the extreme frame rate drop, I mean like miserable, is due to the fact that the roundels do lag you. So that's why I wanted to use the time vortex manipulator to travel through time instead of having to go through the TARDIS. But this is Gallifrey. It is very white and nice, and there's not really that many terrain generation structure stuff so far. White trees, Time Lord should be spawning per usual, and if you want to travel really fast, just bust out your TARDIS there and just ride it across the land, because what more could you want? Oh, nope, darn it. Sunken ship! Sunken ship! Okay, let's just get out of that and find our way back to the TARDIS. Actually, let me show you the 11th Doctor's TARDIS. Open it with the key, walk in, and before it lags, quickly find the controls and go over to... We can go over to Trenzolor, which is like the darker one, sort of the scarier equivalent of hell, like the Doctor Who version of the Nether. And here we are, we've spawned, and it's surrounded with silence, and considering that every silence insta-kills you with lightning, and there are whispermen and lava and gravestones and creepy things everywhere, you do not want to be in this dimension whatsoever. So we're just gonna, hop back into our TARDIS. Oh no! What's happening? I didn't know you could do that. Apparently if you right-click it with the TARDIS key, it disappears and reappears and things. But the last planet we're gonna go to is, actually, before we finish off on Skaro, let's go to the moon. Just to show you, like, some of the gravity mechanics. There's a weird Satan 7 ore right there. But basically, when you go to the moon or the Mars, you'll be able to actually experience a lack of gravity, which is really cool. So if we just go all the way up here, you'll be able to see the block particles fall more slowly. And let's do a single jump, okay? That's a single jump. And see how far I jump and see how slow I float down. And we'll just float gently down into this hole. There we go. So floating gently down back to the TARDIS. There we go. Open up the TARDIS, not back in. I just wanted to show you the gravity mechanics for that. And last but not least, we're going to go to Skaro. I didn't mean to click that lever. Don't click that lever. But I encourage you to explore the inside of the TARDIS. Hopefully they'll fix the mechanics. Ooh, look, a meteor, make a wish. Hopefully they'll change the mechanics so that it doesn't lag as much inside this little pocket universe that the TARDIS exists inside of, and the way that they've incorporated it into Minecraft. I still think it's cool that it's bigger on the inside. But this is the Dalek Dimension, filled with Dalek sand, Dalekanium ore, and Daleks will fight each other, which is super scary, and since the sand is affected by gravity, it is not a pretty sight. Obviously, we have just come across a naturally spawning Dalek boss. The boss bar is popped above. But there's one more thing I wanted to show you, besides the fact that this place is reeking with Daleks and mobs and horrible things and Dalekanium, and that is the Dalek... whatchamacallit. That is not the right word I wanted to use. It's the Dalek Dungeon. So, we got another explosion going over there. There is a Dalek dungeon right here. It looks like this. It's made out of Dalekanium blocks if you can mine them. But if you ascend, there's steel blocks as well, which I believe are made out of steel ingots. So you will be very rich for a long time. But there are monster spawners for lots of crazy things. And inside, There is, like, ender pearl blocks, and, most importantly, there are gears, which, when you right-click with the bare hand, will actually, not do anything. But they do pour out, some pretty cool stuff like Nitro 9. I did not mean to do that. And they'll have pretty cool loots as well if you can get past the Daleks. That'll nearly insta-kill you. Stuff like Dalekanium and parts to craft as many iron sides as you want. So if you want to have your own army of personal Daleks, this is the place to go. And it's also a place to get Nitro 9 and blow up Daleks and whatever. So you can go loot these, get the red stained glass panes. You can also collect the special weapons Dalek statues inside. And after avoiding almost imminent death, I'm assuming, because of these insane monster spawners that will start spawning the minute I go into game mode 1. I'll show you what happens if I go into game mode 1. Here we go. I'm going into game mode 0. I am completely unprepared for this. There's a monster spawner. Here we go. There we go. 2 hits! 2 hits and I'm dead. Wow. And I wanted to show you what spawning in the silence did, too. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't enjoyed this video, then... zombie! Please do leave a big fat thumbs up. And here's the silence! I told you! Now this is what happens. This is what happens. See what you get? It's just gonna kill me. It's just gonna continue to spawn lightning, ruin my life, and there is no way to deal with it. So, I'm gonna go back to the title screen and show you the beautiful, lovely title screen. So thank you so much for watching. If you happen to enjoy this video, then please do leave a big fat thumbs up. And also, if you're new to my channel, then please consider subscribing to the Golden more frequent Minecraft videos. I'm yelling over the lightning. Look at the wreck the silence has made. That is what you get, buddy. No! Frank! Where's Frank? Oh, well, he'll regenerate. Guess we're having a 14th Doctor sooner than later. Wow, who knew? Spoiler alert, anybody? No worries. But if you do have any suggestions, questions, or comments, please do leave them in the comment section below. And once again, if you're new, at least consider subscribing for frequent Minecrafty goodness such as this one. And if you're excited for Doctor Who and the new episodes with Peter Capaldi, or if you have any thoughts about the new ones that already exist and have been released, then let me know in the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Emma and the 14th Doctor, as of right now, Frank. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye!